There he goes. All right, everybody. I tried to have a new guest on here, and either he's getting Googled or I'm getting Googled. I can't get his volume up. He's trying to talk, but something's not working right, and I still. Oh, there he went for a little bit.
Yeah, he's saying hello and what have you, but it's still our same volume level. Hey, friends.
My Hangout box, nothing's working. Nothing. Y'all go ahead and talk. Let me refresh this for me.
Somebody's got to mute theirs. Nice.
It was me. I was the rookie.
It was you.
Again.
I thought it was me, so I had to go back really fast and look.
I forgot I refreshed. It didn't mute me back.
Right.
Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't on my end. If you already got it muted and refreshed, it'll stay muted, but this time it didn't. My bad.
I'm being Googled. I still don't have any. I can't turn on the chat, the internal chat window, anything. Nothing is working for me.
You're not getting the menu to pop up on the left side at all?
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah. That's why I reloaded. I was trying to get it to pop up so I could, adjust the volumes and stuff. And I can't do anything. I can't even see internal chat. And Joe popped out. Hopefully he pops back in and it starts working. So.
Click, write something about TR on the internal.
That's what I was saying to say. Now we got carte blanche to talk about you.
Right on.
Yeah. Y'all can just fucking give me hell and I won't see any of it.
Nah, it's more fun to do it to your face.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy. Couldn't resist, pal.
Oh, hell, I can take it.
I know you can. I know you can. That's why I could say it.
Well, it's my second chat, and so far it's been a failure. So.
Let me tell you something. I was a privy to be on that chat with you when Johnny couldn't make it, and I'm not gonna pronounce the name of that chat because every time I do, I say it wrong. But you did an excellent job. I thought it was great, and I had an absolute fun time being on there. It was a great chat. I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it turned out really good. I mean, it flowed good. We, went from subject to subject seamlessly. And see, I can't see what the hell they're talking about, and it's pissing me off.
No,
I didn't type nothing. I was picking Mikey with this motion.
Okay.
Johnny was being mean to me.
He was showing all kind of good love, and I was helping him out.
Yeah.
On the that Friday night conundrum, did I say it right that time?
Yeah. Yes.
Conundrum chat on Friday nights. Every other Friday night, which is on tonight, gentlemen, this week at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. Should be on Johnny's channel this week. He said he should be able to host it.
Should be, unless I get that call in the middle of the week. So far, nothing is on the docket to fly out at. So.
Cool beans. I'll be up north again, so.
Nice.
And I want to apologize. I was trying to bring in a new guy to the chat, and he was having some technical difficulties. He may still jump in, and he's definitely welcome to, because that's the reason I've done this chat. But I probably should have done a private chat beforehand, because there is more to it than it seems. you people that haven't been in a chat, there's a lot of shit it takes to get in these things and participate. Hell, I'm hosting this and the damn thing ain't working right for me. So anyway, thanks
Yeah,
for
if you had,
stopping by. We're just having a bullshit session now.
yeah, if you had never done one before, getting them set up and all your mics and everything's tuned correctly can be a bitch sometimes.
Wow, Mr. Tommy boy, you're mean.
See, as much as I respect Ducky, I will never be in a chat named Fart. I just can't do it. I can do anything. I can be in any chat, but if you name your chat Fart, no offense to her, no disrespect, I just can't do that.
Well, TR, the next show that you're on of mine, after it's over, I'm going to go back through and rename it with the word fart in it. Just because you said that.
And I believe, yeah, and I
Renamed the whole thing TR farted.
Yeah.
Yep.
People searching through the whole chat trying to find that clip.
More like shit the bed than farted, but that's all right.
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't mean it disrespectful, but if you're trying to have a legitimate, intelligent conversation and you name it fart, it's kind of hard to I don't know. No disrespect. Hey, she can do whatever she wants. Hey, I wish her all the luck in the world. I just,
Are you fartophobic?
No, I'm 47 years old. I fart rather often.
Blue says resist the fart.
Well, I think Greece is fixing to blow a big fart.
Yep.
But they're only the size of Idaho, so, fun.
So what's new and exciting, are they? Do you guys miss me?
With every shot so far.
Right on.
Right.
I like that, man. You remind me of my kid brother. He's like real quick. One-liners are like this. I like that. What the hell? Okay.
Well, let me do something that we don't normally do on the conundrum, Johnny. Let me do a little rundown of the audience. We got Red Bud 815, Fuzz Fork 8, Todd Mitch, Blue 823, Sick Man 99, The Fat Man, Mr. Tommy Boy 9, us here in the audience, King Coin, Todd Mitch. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, Blue's been in here longer than I thought. I'm sorry, Blue. Lee Ralph, The Saint. BC Truck, Rebuild and Repair Repurpose was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here now or not. The Token was in here. And Just In Case was in here. I missed you, Justin. Sorry. Stump Greenwood was in earlier. I don't think he's in here now. Mutt, North Carolina. Jennifer was in here. I sent her an invite, but I think it was way earlier. She probably gave up on me. Starting a chat.
Right.
And Joe's in here trying again.
Keep on trying, Joe.
Yeah. Let me reload my page. See if I can't get this damn thing working.
TR is going to screw around and reload one too many times. This thing's just going to shut down.
They won't lose them.
Right.
We are gonna lose them.
A full-on restart is what's needed anyway. You never can tell with Google.
Self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
That was a perfect voiceover, Bird Dog, on that.
That would have been a perfect moment to hit stop broadcast. Like, people on the outside would have been like, "Whoa,
What the fuck?"
I still don't have a menu over here on the left side. This is pissing me off.
Dude, my lower thirds and like overlays and stuff haven't worked in what 2 months or something.
Yeah.
Michelle spent like 2 hours making me a lower third. I've tried everything. I can't get the thing to get on there. I just can't do it. I've had other people try for me. I've done what Michelle told me to do. Won't work.
Well, Johnny, you have some influence there. Maybe not. But you need to influence her to do her chats earlier. I mean, sorry, dude, but man, she starts her shit too late at night. Then her and Dish have to have her little thing, and it's like 11:30, 12, 12:30 before we can get on. And I'm like, I'm done. Bye. She's like, "What? Are you not going to be on anymore?" And I'm like, "What? It's fucking in the middle of the night by the time you invite me."
Yeah. You can't start them. She can't start them no earlier though because of the kids. You gotta, feed them, bathe them, put them to bed.
Yeah.
You don't really need to. I mean,
And it's the summertime, so kids are always up later than normal.
you can always put them into the yard and let them graze. You know.
Go to the pool, right? Hit the pool.
But just to let you know, Johnny, I'm not mad at Michelle or nothing. The reason I hadn't been in the last couple of them, they just start too late for me. And to be honest, Saturday I couldn't find her chat because she's got like 4 or 5 different fucking channels, and and I was searching around. I was like, well, I guess she's not having one this weekend, and I got an invite from some friends, and to go over and hang out with them. So I was like, well, I guess Michelle's not having chat, so I'll just go hang out with my buddies. And I didn't. She has like 2 or 3 Jamie Time accounts, and
yeah, no worries. It's okay, TR. I mean, it was the holiday. It was Independence Day. Everybody, a lot of folks were doing stuff, but I made it.
Yeah. Hey.
Though, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
I'm guilty. I missed it. It was right over my head.
Just teasing.
Tia, you missed a great chat, Tia. It was awesome, Tia. You should have been there. I'm telling you, you should have been on there Saturday night.
Mikey D.
My question, TR, is do your buddies know that the chat would have taken preference over them, or precedence over them had it been on?
Well, no. But unfortunately, my YouTube social life is more important to me than my real social life, which is really fucking sad, but it is true. I'd rather hang out with you guys than I would my local friends.
Well, I have to concur.
Well, because people here tell you the truth and they're not, you know what I mean? Well, there are those that are going to do all that. I get all that, but
the only reason people on YouTube are so honest with each other is because all they have to do is hit the hang up button, and they never have to talk to them again.
Right.
There's not like the whole accountability of getting smacked in the head or anything when you say something too incredibly stupid. It's just, hang up, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. But as with local friends, I mean, it is a permanent thing. So once you piss off somebody on YouTube and hang up on them, it's kind of like real real life, you know, they're not going to invite you
your
over
feelings.
again.
Yeah, it would hurt your feelings.
Yeah, but you don't have the chance of running into a YouTube person at the bar or at the local restaurant or driving down the road and have to be confronted by them.
That is true. The
I
threat.
hate to
Go ahead, Johnny.
No, I'm sorry, but I hate to break it to y'all. I'm the same in person as I am over this here little contraption box.
Yep. Me too.
Sadly.
I said this to TR when he did that video with Chad, with the fat man. And Johnny, I've told you this when I met Wood and Woodcraft. He's the same way, and I think it's great. You know, I think it's kind of cool when you meet YouTubers. You know, Matt met Jen and Course 420 and David. I thought that was awesome.
I've met 19 of them, I think.
Oh, all together?
All together, 19 YouTubers.
That's awesome. See, that's awesome stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've met several people on YouTube, and I really think if you're faking it and you're not who you really are in real life on YouTube, it'll show up eventually. And I'm real. You know, what you see on YouTube is me. You know, and I think you can't fake it, but for so long, and eventually your real person will come out. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could be a really good actor or actress, but
that's really interesting. I really have never thought about that, TR. Truly.
I mean,
well, I believe you're right. It will eventually show up.
Valid point.
That's why I've blocked a few people. Then, according to some of my, let's say, peanut gallery, I block people for no reason. So, it's my reason, so it's a good reason.
I see Joe's typing, and sorry, Joe, I can't type back because my YouTube's not working right. Damn it. But
he says, "Hey folks, I can hear you. I just have no voice. That's rare."
TR, is it possible for you, TR, to give us a little taste of Joe? Literally there?
What do you mean?
Well, I saw a couple of his videos, and if you may just tell us about Joe, what you know, and, you know, some of the things, again, that he's into, which obviously is, you know, the same things we're like into, but...
If you look in the description of this chat, I actually included a link to his channel. I think he has only 5 videos up right now. Go click on that, and you can see who Joe is. Sorry.
He's a happy guy.
Yes, he is.
He's a happy guy. That was the thing. And Joe, you said you could hear us. I was telling these guys before you came on. I was like, I watched most of your videos. When I say most, I think I watched all your videos, but maybe I didn't watch every second of every one of them. But I walked away from it going, that Joe is a happy dude. That is a happy individual. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like good spirits.
Well, like I was talking to the people before we went live, I stumbled across Joe through Facebook. Somebody posted his video, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I like what he had to say. So, being that it was a YouTube video, I clicked on the YouTube, and then I, you know, proceeded from there and watched his other videos and stuff, and that's what drove me to make a shout-out video for him. You know, because at the time he only had, you know, 10 subs, and so I was like, you know what? This guy here has a lot to say. I like what he has to say. I like his point of view. I'm going to do a shout-out video for him. So I did a shout out video, and thankfully, I can't say every one of them was from the video that I done, but he gained about 50 subs. That's not much. I mean, having 52 subs in YouTube ain't that big a deal, but at the same time, being that he had 10 and he went to 52, 62, whatever it is now, um, I'm proud that I was able to help him, get out there a little bit. And yeah, when you run across somebody that impresses you, I think you should, promote them. And that's what I done. That's what this was supposed to be. Unfortunately, he's having a hard time with the getting in the chat thing, so we'll figure that out. Me and him, I got his phone number. He has mine. I've actually talked to the guy. He's a really cool guy, and I think he will be a big part of the community once he gets his camera and microphone figured out.
Yep.
Well, shouldn't we all do that? I mean, if we have a common denominator, especially going after the same thing, the same end result. Man, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't somebody, have help to bring up somebody else through YouTube?
Yep. Yep, the Saint made a comment out there that says, this is how you grow the group, everyone. That's exactly right. What you're saying goes along with that. Especially when he's talking with some good sense and with preconceived notions and trying to stir the pot, as it were. Although his subject matter may have been a little controversial to some, it was well thought out, and I don't care who you were, I didn't see where you could have said he was trying to stir up a hornet's nest.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I just watched his videos and I was just impressed. Hell, for me, it would have took 2 or 3 days preparedness to probably put out that video, any of the videos he done. Because usually when I go do a video, I just go out there, I have a little thought in my mind, and I just turn the camera on and just shoot it, And the videos he put out, I don't know that he didn't prepare for them, but even if he did, it was still impressive what he had to say. I was like, wow, that guy's pretty cool. I like him,
Agreed. Matt, you was about to say something, and I kind of cut you off. I'm sorry.
I don't remember. Oh, I do now. Like I know where I know Bird Dog from, even though this is the first time I've talked to her. I don't recall
the post office.
And I remember how I learned about Johnny, and I remember how I learned about TR. Or where the first crossing, path crossings came in there. But I don't remember where I ran across Mike the first time.
I think he fell asleep.
I think it might have been, it could have very well been on one of the conundrums, because when the conundrums first started, he used to be able to be on them, or would come on them.
Is that
because
it?
I don't think you watch. I heard Gym Time.
Sorry, Johnny.
So it probably was. No, it's all good. It probably was the conundrum.
Hey, Joe.
Some of the earlier ones.
It might have been. I just don't remember.
Ohio.
Hey, Joe, I actually heard you speak. So
There's Mikey.
Sorry about that.
He put in the internal. The first week of the flag controversy, he says, I think I averaged 4.5 hours of sleep a night from thinking about it, apparently.
Sorry about that, folks.
So good.
I wonder why Fuzz T Fork asked if I was at the dump. And Ohio Wolverine says I sent Matt an invite to one of the first Quagmires.
He most
That
certainly
could have
did.
been it too. That could have been it too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me talking about that, Mike? Where I can't remember where I first met you.
Well, what, like live like this, you mean?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let me think.
well, we've all been in so many damn chats. Hell, we can't remember where we met each other.
Right.
I don't think it was the Quagmire.
Joe said he was up staying up all night to prepare for presentations, not thinking about the flag controversy. So in other words, he made those videos on just 4.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
If I'm reading that right.
I heard him speak a minute ago. Loud and clear, actually. He just, like said hey or something like that. So, hey, Joe, if, just a minute ago.
Yes.
Way low, still, like it was before.
Yeah, I had to set up a private chat with you, Joe, and we'll get this figured out, man.
Tell you what, TR, let's not take lessons off of TR here. We might scare some people away. If you meet a guy on YouTube and all of a sudden you're exchanging numbers and private chat. I mean, run, Joe, run.
Yeah, I admit I fucked up. I should have done this live.
Yep, that's it. Ohio helped me out. Matt, it was on Luke's chat that you and I met.
Did I run you a hard time the first time I met you?
Oh, you absolutely did, because I was on the Quagmire, and you said first words out of your mouth. You didn't even say hi, Mike. Nice to meet you. None of that. None of the niceties. You were like, okay, listen, because Ohio and I were talking about the TSA, and you said, oh, Mike, so you're one of those guys that doesn't mind being groped, having your balls groped, and everything by another man. I think I gave a wise ass crack or something like, well, that's why I only go to the girls' line or something like that. But it started from there. But yeah, I think that's the first night I met you. I think Ohio's 100% right. It was on Luke's chat, and we were chatting about that. Yep.
I think I remember that because you was cool with the TSA, and I think everybody ganged up on you.
Oh, you guys jumped all over me like I was a friggin' you guys were all over me like I was some stripper or something. You guys were just beating the hell right out of me.
The TSA is one of those things for me, man. It's like that's like,
That and voting for Hillary.
Are you still on this chat?
Voting for Hillary.
I don't have all my buttons, but I got the boot button. I can still boot them out, Matt.
The most important.
Yeah, but that was, and you guys all jumped up all over me. And just for people out in the chat, I'm really not a Hillary fan. I do that to get Matt's goat. But I didn't have. Oh, there was another thing I didn't have a problem with, Matt. We were talking about that night too, just to help you remember. We were talking about the Boston bombings and how they were going house to house, and I told
The
you.
Boston bombing is not the first time that I met you. I know that for a fact.
No. Wasn't that the same night? Wasn't that the same night?
Because I distinctly remember jumping all over your shit about the Boston bombings.
Because then the next time we spoke, you were like, "Hey, I'm really sorry." I says, "Why? I wasn't offended. I wasn't." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not easily offended when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, after a while, we just have to mute Mikey and go on about our business.
Hey, TR, I think I liked it better when Johnny was away.
I know y'all did, but guess what? I'm back.
Shit. Bird Dog, what do you think? You like it better when Johnny was away?
No, I have to say, I'm a Johnny fan.
Oh, well.
Like I said, I've been wanting to get Bird Dog in one of these semi-political chats because she has let on. She knows a lot more than she talks about in the bullshit, just fun chats. And that's why I sent her in, because Bird Dog's a smart little girl.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do you live near her, TR?
No, I wish I did, though.
He wants to.
I was going to say, you sound like you're flirting a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah, she's married. I'd probably end up with a shotgun aimed at me.
I'm just calling it as I see it, dude.
Matt, that was a light version.
Well, we're friends. That's right.
I think TR turned red a little bit, though.
He did.
I
do know that we would all certainly. My husband loves all you guys. We'd all have a great time. Everybody's all kindred spirits for sure.
Yeah, I actually do just respect Bird Dog and respect her opinion and enjoy her company. I mean, seriously, you know, she's a cool girl, a woman. Sorry.
You know, we all have opinions, of course, and it's kind of neat where Joe has brought himself into the chats now because he took time to be, in my opinion, I'll use the word polite, and research his topic and deliver it in a fashion that invites discussion and debate, which is what I would compliment all of you men. You do the same, and you try to be, again, cordial and offer debate, which is my biggest problem with, I will say, our opponents today in this political sphere. They do not reciprocate the same generosity of debate. It shuts down the vocabulary. Their intent to quell and demonize you. So, you know, there's no opportunity for debate. And again, there's not really any desire on the other side to have that.
Well, you start debating a progressive.
Joe said thank you.
And their average reply is something like, la 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 la.
And
True.
You know, I love debate, and I love having the opposition there. You know, and all joking aside, you know, and we had mentioned, Matt and I were laughing about it, but we had mentioned that TSA conversation we had on the Boston bombings. Now, Matt and them guys, they gave me their, you know, their point blank educated let's throw. And I'm being dead serious though. Because there were people out there, Matt, that didn't know. May not have. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me their educated, the way it is, and I gave mine, and nobody, and that's why, like Bird Dog, like you were saying, there was two people on two opposite sides of the fence, and we had at it, and I think it was a good, I think it was okay, and they turned me, they won, but debate is awesome. I love having debate.
Joe says we must resist hyperbole as it plays into the tactics of the powers that be. In reference to your comments, Bird Dog.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think that that is very true. If you can stay focused on the issue and argue it at hand, it takes great energy and determination to shut the noise out and continue to drill down on the argument at hand. There are a lot of people who are hyperbole.
I had to look up what hyperbole meant.
How funny. That's not Powerball. I don't think you win anything.
Hey, you can't throw rocks at me this time. I enunciated.
Fat man says, however, you can debate with a submissive. Plus, it's fun with feathers and leather paddles.
Wow.
Hey, TR.
Mm-hmm.
This is because I figure if anybody on the panel knows the answer to this question, it's you. You know what the difference between kinky and perverted is?
I'm not sure. What is your answer?
Kinky's using a feather. Perverted's using the whole chicken.
True.
Joe says, few today listened to Al Sharpton, but everyone listened to Malcolm X. The focus, the intellect, and the historical context was irrefutable. He realized.
Yeah, sadly, history continues to be warped and blurred.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, the victors get to write the history books, and
sometimes that's a good thing.
yeah, sometimes, but
sometimes that's a good thing. I mean, think about how skewed, the revolution, the history about the revolution would be had the Brits been able to write the history on that.
Yep.
So let's not keep in mind. Let's keep in mind that just being the victor and being able to write history, we've talked about it before. We want to be able to be the ones to write history for the future, because it's people like us that will be demonized in the history books. So the victor writing history isn't necessarily a bad thing.
that is a good point. That is a good point. I can't argue with that.
Yep. Fuzzfork says our history books are blurred. Obviously, that is absolutely.
I even think our timeline is blurred over when you go back thousands and thousands of years. I mean, there's a lot of stuff blurred in history, but it don't matter now. What matters is history repeats itself, and empires rise and empires fail. There has never been an empire that stayed in power, and we are no different.
Yeah, they're after us. They've been digging at the U.S. since the inception.
Well, to
Sorry.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Joe says it's a bad thing referring to winners writing the history. It's bad because it sets in motion the inferiority and superiority complexes that perpetrate oppression.
Yeah, people just mentally become so insecure. It is a shame. Everybody starts to second guess themselves and their neighbors, and you cannot let that happen.
The token had a question on the external. She asked, but what's it going to take to stand up to our government? We vote new ones in. We vote new ones in that we expect to do our bidding, but it's the same old, same old. What's the next step?
That's the harsh part, though. We're really not voting new ones in. We're just recycling the same people.
Right.
Yeah, term limits were the only thing that could assist with that, and they are just the ultimate anti-venom for the snake, and you know, that would wreck their political careers.
Well, the fact that
I'm
there's a
sorry, real quick. I would just say that volunteer does not equal career. You know, if you're volunteering for the good of your government and your citizenry, then the complete opposite of that is career. You don't have a career in volunteering. Definitely.
Joe has made further comments. Said that history will show in 30 years if they get their way that the Confederate flag bearers that they were backwards hillbilly racists, and that's not the case. But it is the case if it is in a book written by the Clinton Bush History Foundation. True. You got us there.
You have to consider your sources, right?
well, the fact that we have a good possibility that probably not. I mean, looking at it now, that it may not fall down that way, but the fact that they're pushing for it's going to be a Clinton against the Bush for president absolutely shows that the elites in power are controlling us. Maybe not me and you personally, as far as what we believe and but at the same time, if it comes up in 2016 that the main people to vote for, the main ones are Clinton and Bush, if that don't fucking prove it to everyone that this shit is rigged, nothing will.
Is it?
You might as well give up.
Is it so much rigged, or is it so much like I said, or is it money? And I'll explain what I said this the other night in my chat. I said, I got this, back in the day when the forefathers, they fought to get what they needed, literally, right? As we all know. And I'm not expecting, obviously, our 535 to fight, in a sense. But the almighty dollar gets in the way, and this is why, like you just said, I agree with you 100%, and what is it? The Clintons have money up the wazoo, and the Bushes have money up the wazoo, so the name of the game is, if you have a ton of money, you're going to be president, period. So I don't know if it's more rigged, or if it's more, you got more money so you win the game. You know what I'm saying?
Joe says it shows that we are asleep, distracted, and or apathetic, TR. I maintain that our society as a whole does not care if it is rigged, as long as, we have American Ninja and a good smartphone. He said, and sex every now and again. Right.
No, I gotta agree with Joe. I mean, and we've all talked about this at length. That apathy is one of the biggest things. How many times have each one of us defended the Constitution? That the Constitution didn't fail, the people failed. Yep. And that's through apathy. That's through not giving a shit. It's through not wanting to be bothered by this stuff and just have somebody else take care of it for me because I'm busy with the Kardashians, or whatever.
What about the sports world? It is absolutely encompassed, and it is nothing more than the modern day gladiator-style deal at the Coliseum to just engross the public, keep everybody satisfied. I'm sorry, but soccer is a huge example of this, and quell the masses, keep everybody occupied, entertained, distracted.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love sports. I'm a huge person that is very competitive. Everything I do, I want to win. I am a winner. But everything in our country, in my opinion, has been hijacked.
Yeah, most people can't put aside entertainment from reality. Um, and that's where those sports events, football, racing, whatever it is. I'm a NASCAR fan. I like watching NASCAR, but I take it for what it is. It's just a race. I watch it. I enjoy it, but it ain't got a damn thing to do with my life. I'm not worried about it the next day. I'm not concerned about it the next day. Football or anything else, and but somehow they have convinced people that sports is their life, and that's where the problem is.
For that generation, I would agree. And there is also the generation that is younger than us, which has been captured with electronics.
Working class woodsman made a comment in reference to the Confederate battle flag. He said he'd bought one this week for the first time, and he would have one for the rest of his life. And I would like to also say I did as well, and I'm from southern Alabama, and I've never owned one, but I bought one this week. So
I'm from Ohio.
it's backfiring on me.
I'm from Ohio, and I used to have a really, really nice one. It was cloth, thick cloth, huge. I mean, it was like
Nice.
8 foot long. You just drape on my wall, floor to ceiling to floor. Of course, divorces have a tendency to make you lose that stuff.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Well, I'm 47 years old, and this rebel flag right here, this is the first one I've ever owned in my life, and I bought it within this past week, just because of all the horse shit going on. They have the little Confederate store I went to buy it was busier than I've ever seen it. If anything, this rebellion against the rebel flag has backfired, and the Bird Dog can attest to that at the NASCAR race, because they were saying like NASCAR's like, well, we're going to ask you not to fly the rebel flag, and the infield said, fuck you, we're all going to fucking fly the rebel flag just because you said we can't.
And I would agree that TR, many people set out to purchase their first stars and bars because of the First Amendment right. they did not intend for it to be something that was obtrusive or offensive, but they certainly are tired of the oppressiveness, and I'm going there, yeah, that has continued to be put on Americans today.
Right.
Well, if you look at, this isn't the first time their plans have backfired. I mean, look at gun control. Gun control is a perfect example.
Damn.
I mean, the more they talk about gun control, the more guns get sold. I mean, it's a lot of their plans have backfired. They don't talk about the mainstream really doesn't talk about NSA spying anymore because people are unhappy with it. They don't like it as a whole, and so they went, "Whoa, we are not talking about this anymore," and so on. I mean, it just yeah, it doesn't work well for them sometimes. And the flag thing, I would love to see the analytics on flag sales for like last week. I would love to see those numbers. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they were made in America.
Not
Well,
likely.
Yeah, the cheap,
I know.
the cheap one I got probably wasn't, but I'm thinking about getting some good ones. You could probably actually see through them, so I know these aren't really good ones. But I plan on buying more.
Joe says, tinfoil hat alert. He says the powers that be does not create backfires. Those are not unintended consequences. Those are intended consequences.
Well, that may be true, but most of us, I know you, Johnny, and Matt, we don't give a damn. We know we're rebels, and
Right.
Yeah, right.
and we're like, fuck you.
Yep.
Come and take it.
Simply go to Google
Take it.
and
Come on. Come it on. Bring it on, motherfucker.
go to Google and type in rebel definition. And if everybody watching this chat right now doesn't identify as a rebel, then you're probably not where you're wanted anyway.
You're in the wrong chat room.
Right? That's all you got to do is read the definition in noun and verb form, and it's every one of us. Well, except for maybe Mikey.
See what?
Mike is kind of leaning this way, though. I tell you.
I'm with you. I just,
Yeah.
there are still a few things, but, I'm with you pretty much. So.
And Mike, did you take down your Obama flag yet off your flagpole of your house?
My what? My Obama flag?
Yeah.
Come on, I only voted for him once.
That's all. Hey, you know what?
That's all it took, right?
That's all there.
Yep.
All it takes is once, man.
In fairness, that was before I met people like me that thought the way I thought. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Now who's in the wrong chat room?
Yeah,
Because we didn't vote for him. Well, we weren't thinking like you.
I know, but what I'm saying is that I didn't have anybody. I don't know how to say this. Like I didn't have a venue to speak my opinions until I got on YouTube, and then once I started listening to you and Johnny and TR and you and David and not that I agree with 110% of everything comes out of your mouth, because I don't. But you know what I'm saying? YouTube and Google gave me the opportunity to, being up here in Yankee Land in Massachusetts. You know what I mean?
It's better than the Obama phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have to speak for my guest that couldn't get his phone and microphone working right, but he said in one of his videos that he stood in line for 4 hours. His father is actually from Kenya, which is, some ancestry, to Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, even legitimate or not, whatever. Uh, to not vote for Obama. And he was a black man, and you fucking voted for Obama, you sorry piece of shit.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just fucking with you,
let me.
Mike.
I'll go one step
But
further.
he did say that he stood in line for 4 hours not to vote for Obama. But me and you've talked, and I'm cool with what you
I
got.
know. You know, I voted for your guy. He sucked a dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bird Dog. Bird Dog, I apologize. And
Mike, we're just giving you shit.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But like I said, in all seriousness, I didn't know. Like the old saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. So I didn't know those people out there like me. You know.
Well, like I said, I voted for Bush Senior, and that sorry son of a bitch sent me to war.
Right.
So, you want to talk about regretting a decision that I made? I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I here?
I'll take a helping of that with Bush Jr. Because I voted for that asshole. He sent me to war.
The only two guys I ever voted for that won was Clinton and Obama.
You voted for Clinton too?
Oh, I love Bill. I'd vote
Yeah.
for Bill again. Dude, I'll tell you what, in all seriousness, Matt, right? I know you're going to get mad at me. It's okay. I voted for Ross Perot. He lost. I voted for what's his name there? TR's guy.
Ron Paul.
Gone. Didn't even, okay. I'm telling you, the only two men I ever voted for that won was Clinton and Obama.
Ross Perot and Ron Paul, and since Ron Paul didn't make it to,
But you know what I'm saying?
I voted for Gary Johnson, but yeah, are the only two people that I've ever voted for. Period.
Hey, Matt, you've run these chats before. Where's the boot button? I need to boot Mike out of here.
You hover over his picture, and you'll see a little arrow. You'll see a little arrow pop up. You click that arrow, and yeah.
I'm not even going to go out in the external see how bad I'm getting beat up. I'm going to stay right here in the internal.
Well, you want
right.
to talk about somebody getting beat up. Did anybody catch the comment from Ohio Wolverine out there?
Yes, about the Dukes of Hazzard car?
No.
Oh.
No.
Which are you referring?
That he's picking up an AR this week.
Oh, that's nice. He's going to shoot me with it?
Right on.
No, he's not going to shoot anybody with it. It won't work.
Oh, shut up.
No way.
All right.
I even had somebody comment, Fuzz Fork, I think it was, commented, did Matt see your video on the Independence Day video? Because it didn't malfunction when I unloaded AR-15. And he was like, did Matt see this?
I did see that comment, and I actually intended to go check out your video like right after the chat, and got tired and went to bed. But I will check that out directly this evening because I don't believe it. And was it done in one take? That's what I want
Yes,
to know.
one take. I unloaded a 30-round mag. I did a mag dump with my AR-15 without failure.
So you guys help me out, okay? All right, so Matt, I have to vote because it's one of the last things we have, right? So I have to. It's for me. I'm not telling anybody else they have to do what they're going to do, but for me, I have to vote. So when it's time to vote, who do I call to ask who I should vote for?
No, it's your choice, man.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Clinton kicked me. Clinton, when I was in the Navy, Clinton was cutting back on the military.
On the military,
and so, yeah, I got booted then. But you know, it's one of those things where at least you're doing it. Right now, we have like 2 or 3 peaceful ways to try to change things, and I think we all want that first. You know, voting, petitioning, and jury duty. That's like the three. That's like the 3 ways that right now that a person can possibly, or at least attempt to peacefully change things. You know, so I mean, at least you're trying. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
want to
want.
be too serious, but when we get right now, we should all strive to vote, get out, have our voices heard, protest, riot, whatever it is we have to do, because the next step is voting from the rooftops with rifles, and we don't want to get there. I
oh
don't
hell
want to be
no.
there. That is not a place I want to be, but that's the next step if the democratic process don't work. I
And
hate to be serious, but seriously.
no,
Oh, I know what
no,
you mean.
I'm completely with you, and that's why I said peacefully,
Mhm.
because we have the other option, which is non-peaceful. HDP pointed out one thing: secession is peaceful as well. So there's 4. Thank you for that, HDP. But no, yeah, it's uh, I get a lot, and I know I'm not the only one that gets frustrated with this comment. People like in chat rooms and comment sections and shit, they never say it to your face. They always say it in type. But it's like, oh yeah, what are you doing to try to change things? Well, forget the fact that we're all on a political chat every week, if not multiple times a week, trying to wake people up and inform people. Forget about that fact, you know. And it's those same people that when you talk about voting and this sort of stuff, they're like, oh, voting doesn't work. It's like, well, okay, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, obviously, nothing. It's so frustrating.
Yes, it is, and our country is not in a pure form anymore. You know, the arguments for people to make that, well, the system isn't working, it's broken. The only reason that that mainly is true is because there is a level of anarchy now. The laws aren't being enforced, and those continue to exacerbate the problem. So, you know, it's not a true America at this time. Again, we're a bastardized union of states that originally was brought to fruition on a lot of the economic principles of Ludwig von Mises and other tremendous scholars that really in the pure form again are the epitome and backbone of our country for supply and demand capitalism. But today it is standing on one leg, and that leg's been kicked and beaten and crushed. So we're in a very serious challenge crossroads.
All right,
Yeah.
I want to read Joe's comment earlier. It says the greatest historical fact I learned, or the most eye-opening, was that during the slave rebellions, the number of Irish and other whites were so prevalent that the early colonist governments began giving land to the whites and told them, you're better than those blacks, you're better than those N-words. The lesson is racism was created as a construct of manipulating the masses. Now, if that ain't something to think about.
Um,
Well,
What?
it's always manipulation. I watched a video earlier today, Mr. Bullet Points, which we all know. Well, at least a
Mm-hmm.
few of us know.
yeah.
He gave a little class on gun restrictions. And I know he's right, because the first gun restrictions was to keep guns out of black people's hands because white people were scared of them. So gun restrictions were essentially founded on a racist basis. And the people that actually, if you think about it, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, I don't know, but if you support gun restrictions and gun, whatever, bans, they were all based on racist values, racist means, and I think we kind of see that today, because in the biggest inner cities is where we see the most restrictive gun bans. So it's kind of continued. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm presenting my case good enough here, but um, aren't we seeing the most restrictive gun control in the inner cities of the most predominantly black neighborhoods?
Definitely.
I would venture to guess just the major cities in the United States, period, right? Whether it be in or right, like you take the city of Boston, the city of Chicago, just take it as a whole. And you're right. I agree with you 100%, because you come out to where I am, and you guys know I'm a mile and a half from being free in New Hampshire, and it changes. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah.
Well, I seen Joe was popping up, even though I can't see the internal chat. I seen that he was saying no, no, no. But I'm talking about the earliest gun
Yeah,
restrictions.
Right, like against Dr. King, in fact. He
Yeah.
was a
What?
victim of violence, whereas he was not allowed to own a concealed carry weapon. He was denied it by the sheriff, and therefore, again, was not able to protect himself or his family.
A lot of people don't know that.
Well, I'm thinking.
And those were Democrats.
Yeah, I'm talking about even before that. I'm talking
Yes,
like
sir.
1800s, 1700s. The first gun laws were actually enacted to restrict black people from owning guns. I mean, I don't mean to get this into a race kind of thing, or I'm just saying that facts are facts. Your first gun laws was to keep guns out of black people's hands, and it continued to where the way I see it is the big inner cities being the most restrictive, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't present this very well. I'm sorry.
When you read Joe saying no, 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 he wrote back and he said most of the gun shops are in black neighborhoods. And then he just dropped out. So
well, I think that really depends on where you live too. I mean,
right.
That's not my experience.
It's right.
But in other places that may be so. Well, in other places it is so. But
Right.
but in my experience, that's not the case.
Yeah, what you said, TR, is absolute, and it's correct. I think Joe just wasn't catching what you were saying, but the original first so-called, like you said, the first gun restrictions were thought up to try to restrict black people from having firearms, and that's been early 1900s kind of stuff that you were referring to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, yeah, early, way back laws is what I'm talking about, not recent laws.
Yeah, Joe just went in and out. He's still trying to get this mic to work.
Yeah.
Right. Well, cut you up anyway. So.
Do you mind if I ask Mikey to say referendum?
Did you see the answer that I wrote to Fat Man when he asked the same question, young lady? Okay, you ready? Look, how you do?
Say it again. I missed it.
Referendum.
He had to really try. He was really trying.
Yeah.
I really was.
Yep.
It was, to tell the truth. It was.
You're a good sport, definitely.
Don't feel bad, Mikey. Hell, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. There's a lot of words I can't say either.
Yeah, it's both sides of our political parties are
let me ask you,
blame for everything, certainly.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you guys think that there should be, I mean, I know we've talked term limits and stuff like that too, right? But do you believe there should be a thing on money spent on campaigns?
Yeah. They've actually made it legal for foreign countries to promote and donate to candidates. And of course,
the Clinton Global Initiative has been allowed to include everything up until like this last year.
Right.
They're not going to have to give any of those funds back.
And that's the whole. I mean, it's like.
It's bullshit.
Right. Pretty much. I wanted to try to put it, but yeah. I mean, that's pretty much bullshit. But it's never going to stop, though. And I mean, until I don't know. I don't know if it will stop.
Well, the government wants to nationalize everything, and they're right on the way now to the churches, having granted the supposed right to people to be free and do what they want to do. They're allowing them to do something now. And this, again, gives rise to what will become a control over the finances of the church industry. I'm going to call it an industry because they are nonprofits. And if they don't do what the government wants, then they're going to strip those nonprofit statuses. And then, when you don't have money, you can't operate.
But can they? Somebody said that before. I don't know where I heard that.
A lot of folks. I mean,
well, no, it was only the chat the other night because I brought up. Was it on my chat? I don't know. Anyway, somebody brought up the fact that I actually brought up the fact that there was already after the Supreme Court ruling, like 2 days after the Supreme Court ruling last week, that a gay couple's already going to sue a church. And so my philosophy, my thought process, which is, as you guys know, wasn't always correct, but I said, if we have separation of church and state, whereas those 10 commandments that I mentioned in Oklahoma can't stay because
that was like that's the original wedge put in the door that started that,
Exactly. So my point
is these kinds of underpinnings have been going on for so long, with Woodrow Wilson starting it out, going on down the line throughout, just pecking away, peck.
But so my point is that wouldn't separation of church and state fit the opposite way too, whereas you couldn't sue a church? And then somebody said to me that if the church says no, that they will take away their they gave the number
nonprofit status.
Nonprofit status.
503c.
503c, which I think, in my opinion, is wrong for them to do that because I don't want to get into church and all that, but it's a separate entity. So I used the example the other night where a friend wasn't married in a Catholic church because her husband-to-be was Protestant, and they wouldn't marry him in the Catholic church, and they just went to another one and they got married. So I think it should be a separate. You know what I mean? I don't think the government should. I don't think the government should. If they're not going to allow you to have 10 commandments on a friggin' Capitol building, they can't hang something over a church's head saying we're going to take your status away. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
And therein lies the daily irony we all have to live with.
Yeah.
And they expect us to believe they weren't singling out conservative groups through the IRS.
I tell you,
Right.
if everybody would just not pay any money to the government, how can you do that though? I mean,
take them to court. In my hometown of Wilmington, Mass. There was a gentleman. He's much older than me, but I went to school with his son. He hasn't paid taxes in over 38 years or some shit like that. And he took the federal government to court, and because of the backups in the federal government, he hasn't paid property tax. He hasn't paid nothing. He still owns his home and everything else. He's suing the federal government.
Well, it's hard to do when you work for a company and they directly take it out for you. I mean,
absolutely, TR. That is something that I think is one of the most blatant robberies daily, and people do not realize it. If you'll just look at your paycheck, people, and see that there's someone else in your pocket before you get it, you have no right to your money. They're going to take it from you how they see fit before you get that net pay. No one never really talks about it.
well, I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, just don't pay your taxes," and
Yes, you do.
and it's like, yeah, but I work for a corporation and I don't have a choice. They're going to take them out no matter what I claim, no matter what I do. They're going to take them out. I don't have a choice other than, have my own business. And I don't. I work for a company and they take them out. So, fuck you. I'm sorry. I don't have a choice. So don't tell me I have a choice.
No,
Joe says he files exempt for federal taxes, and then he has to pay at the end of the year after filing a 1040.
Right.
But they still get you though. So.
Now, do either one of you guys on the panel here live in a state where it's both state and federal you pay, or like I know, like in New Hampshire, there's no state taxes. Or do you guys live in a state where there's no state taxes?
Florida has no state tax. Income.
I have state here, state and federal.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I get slammed with state and federal.
Me too.
Yep, same here.
But they make it up in my property tax, don't get me wrong.
And my wife, I try to convince my wife to change our tax status, and she won't. So they take, it's pretty much 30%, all of them, state, federal, Social Security, all that crap that comes out, like you was just saying, Bear Doug. 30% of my check is gone before I even see it going into my bank account.
I know. I mean, it's atrocious.
Here's something I've talked about in the past, and out in the chat room, where'd it go? Working Class Woodsman says we would lose our military if we didn't pay taxes. And he's right. He's 110% right. We would lose the military if we didn't pay. If nobody paid taxes, we would lose our military. TR, Johnny, you guys wouldn't have done it for free. I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't have. It's a job, and you expect to get paid accordingly. no matter what you're doing. And
Right.
You're correct, Matt. Absolutely, that is the task the federal government and Congress are charged with. And if they would do their job of three things, then again, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
well, I'm not advocating for by saying, but one of the things I've talked about before is I would love for there to be a checkbox of where your taxes go, and you get sent a receipt on a quarterly basis or something like that. That that fine, I'll pay my taxes, but I want 25% to go to the military, 25% to go to we're talking federal here because local goes to whatever local goes to, but 25% to go to military, 25% to go to federal lands like forestry services, 25% to go to border patrol, and the other 20, whatever,
Right.
but you get a receipt in the mail quarterly saying, here's how much you paid, and this is what it went to.
I like that.
That is something that I could get behind, because at least my taxes are being used for something I want it to be used for, instead of whatever other bullshit that you're using it for. Imagine how many people would not check the box that I want my taxes to go to pay for the IRS.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. They give you the election of the PAC money. If you want to give $1 to this or $1 to that, it is something that demands accountability then, and we know how well this government provides accountability and information.
Well, I will say that, in my naive, young, I didn't know no better when I joined. I was just a reservist. I got called up for active duty during Desert Storm. But seriously, I probably would have done the reservist thing for free. Because no more than they paid, I was pretty much doing it for free any fucking way. uh, I don't mind if our country was seriously attacked by another country, I'd be the first one on the line. Even today, I would jump up, grab my own guns, grab my own fucking ammo, and I would be on the front line. I believe in our country. I don't believe in our government is what it has become, but as far as our country and our countrymen and my brothers and sisters around me, I will defend that. I will defend you. And so for that part, I will disagree a little bit. As far as a standing army, yeah, I mean you do have to pay them and stuff like that, but at the same time, according to our Constitution, we shouldn't have a standing army. I mean, we should be prepared to defend ourselves, but not necessarily have a standing army.
Frank I says income tax is voluntary. He's right. Income tax is voluntary, just like obeying the speed limit is voluntary.
Mm-hmm.
Just like not murdering is voluntary. But let's face it, if you don't do it, I don't care how illegitimate the government is or you believe it is, if you don't do it, they'll come after you. I mean, period. And that's why it is theft. That's why people call it theft. It's because, yes, it's voluntary. But if you don't do it, they'll put a gun to your head and make you do it.
The tyranny's real.
What is? Matt, can I ask you a question?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna anyway. That gentleman I was telling you about from where I grew up, right? What can happen? What can they do to him let's say that the case closes, you know, whatever. Can they? What can happen to them? Like what?
I don't know.
Because
I
I
don't know
looked up online and stuff, and there's no like, there's nothing there that states if you sue the federal and lose. I mean, I looked up on every freaking thing. I couldn't find a thing.
I'm not a lawyer, and so I'm not going to claim to know. I don't know the circumstances behind your buddy's court case. I don't know if the government suspended his taxes as part of whatever's going on, or if he just stopped paying them. I don't know, so I can't really I can't answer that question.
I was just wondering if they could take like a shit away, or you know what I mean.
I mean, I imagine it's like any other court case. You know, just off the top of my head, if you go to court and you win, you can sue for like say back pay and court costs and all this other stuff. What you lost in the process. So, you know, again, this is just a guess, strictly a blind guess, that I imagine the government can come back on them and say, okay, you lost, therefore you owe us this amount of back taxes.
Gotcha.
Again, I would not go to anybody and say, hey, this is what this guy said, so...
Right,
you know.
right. No, I just often wondered what, you know...
Well, the problem is, Mike, when you go up against the government, you're undergunned every time. Right or wrong, you could be right as rain. I mean, you could be constitutionally perfectly in line, but if the government says you're wrong, you're fighting a brick wall. They're going to win every time, unfortunately. And that's why we have these chats, to awake people, to get people involved, to, you know, get people interested into politics, because whether or not you're into politics, politics are into you. You have to be involved, whether you want to or not. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, we're trying to change things for the better. We're trying to, you know, Joe said to educate, exactly. To educate and try to change things for the better, to the way it's supposed to be, to the way the country was originally designed to function, instead of the way it is. The way it is not the way it's supposed to be. And, you know, like when I say the government can come back and you know, sue your buddy for back taxes, it doesn't mean I'm advocating for it. It doesn't mean I'm saying that they should, or I think that's, you know, how it should be. That's just how it is. And that's the kind of things that we're trying to get done, you know, changed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the voice that I think we have to try to. And I'm not a smart guy. I'm just a.
That was classic. I'm not a smart guy. I'm just gone.
See you guys later.
See,
the government got him.
The damn government's watching my ass. They fucking dropped me out.
Can we that like they did with that girl there, Matt, that showed up on Luke's chat, and just like make a video of that 3-4 seconds? I'm not a smart guy.
Yeah. Hey, go to Firefox, and there's an app that you can mirror and download a video. If you want to mirror and download that and put it on your channel, by all means do so, Mike.
But
I may do it myself.
Where'd he go?
All right, we all caught up here?
I think Mike's dragging a little on here.
Okay. I thought it was just
Am
me.
I still here?
Yeah. But I think if we don't, I'm not saying everybody has to be on a live chat. Everybody don't have to go out and protest and email and do the shit that maybe some of us do, like I do. But if you don't do anything, you're going to get what you deserve, which is nothing. If you do nothing, you will get nothing in return. You will get what you fucking deserve. You have to get out there and do something. Because if you don't do anything, you will get the government you deserve.
Recognizing the problem isn't enough. You have to actually do something to, try to change it.
Mm.
Look, there's 3 foot of snow in my driveway. I'm gonna bitch about it until it just goes away. No, you got to pick up a shovel and do something.
Yep, you moved to Arizona.
Or you move to Arizona and you don't have 3 foot of snow in your driveway anymore.
I knew there was an underlying reason.
Right.
I left my snow shovel propped up against my garage when I left Ohio, and I haven't thought about it since.
And if we get snow here like we did last year, I will send you a cooler full of friggin' snow.
It's going to get here, and I'll be like, why did Mike send me an empty cooler?
Yeah.
Yeah, even the snow will evaporate by the time it gets there.
Right. No, it's...
I'm going to open it up and tell Space Buns, look, Mike sent us a really nice igloo cooler. It's like a 4-dayer even. I mean, this is badass.
I'll put your favorite beer.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just. Well, there's Mr. Bullet Points. Hey.
Well, guys, I got to jump off here. Thanks for having me on, TR.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, it's fun. I wish Joe would have been able to get his stuff working. I was interested to talk to the guy. So another time, another chat. I'm sure there'll be another one.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can't get that worked out with him, and we'll all have a good chat together.
Good luck.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. Good seeing everybody. Johnny, Bird Dog, TR.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Matt.
Matt. Take it easy.
Oh, and Mike. I almost forgot about Mike.
It's easy to forget about him.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Good night, Matt.
Night,
All
night.
right. Later.
That's what I love. Well, damn, Mike dropped out. Son of a bitch.
He was fighting his connection. I think he was struggling with a little instability there. He'll be back.
Yeah, he may be. I was just going to say that that's one of the things that I love about. Yep, there he is. Even in these political chats or serious chats, whatever you want to call them, we can joke and kid around and at the same time be serious. You know, we can have serious moments and in a drop of a hat flip around and just freaking jab the hell out of each other, and we can all take it. And I love that, that we can be serious and jokingly and joke around with each other at the same time.
Absolutely. you know what? And sometimes you need that too. It's, you know. So if you're thin-skinned and you can't take it, don't do it.
Right. Yep. Don't come in here.
Don't come in here. There's another chat, I think, on Saturday nights. Johnny comes on usually, you know, anywhere from 10 to 11 o'clock. But, you know, midnight, whatever the hell they come on. But, you know, if you are thin-skinned, don't go there neither.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think that's, I mean, we're just being real with each other, you
Right
know?
on.
You know, absolutely. I mean, you know, the friends I have, like I said, I work maintenance in an industrial plant, and it's like, if you don't have a sarcastic attitude, you're not qualified for the job, you know? It's damn near like military. It's like, I'm going to cut your throat, you know, in a verbal way, not literally, but verbally, every time I get a chance. So don't open the door because I'm stepping in.
Well, guys, you know, it's going to be I don't know, it's going to be a hell of a fall. Good grief.
Michelle says,
Oh, you dropped out, Mikey.
Bros up, buddy.
Hey, Johnny, what's Joe saying in there? I see a few things pop up. Overall, what's he saying?
He gave a go Bucks for Matt because Matt was from Ohio. So I countered with Roll Tide. So he gave me a Roll Tide. Said he rooted for him all season, but before he goes, he said he must advise against the rooftop thing. I think that was referring to your comment. And he says we're outflanked, outnumbered, and outgunned. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
wait a minute, which part on that part or the Roll Tide part? Because if he's on the Roll Tide part, me and Joe got some talking to do.
No, he's good with the Roll Tide, so you just sit there and shut up. And he says we got to win the guys over with the fingers on the switches.
I know, it's a tough deal, you know, they've tried to bleed out their military and bring in some new bucks that are trigger happy, and there's a lot of people that still want to defend the Constitution and take their oath seriously. I just am very curious what the real breakdown would be. What do you guys think? You think the majority of the people are on the gung-ho side?
With
In
today's
army? Yeah.
With today's military, I don't trust them. I don't. It's not the same military that me and Johnny was in.
No.
Johnny, do you guys agree that they're only allowing 20-year guy out if you're promotable?
Say that again, Mikey.
In the service, whichever branch of service you want, doesn't really matter. Do you agree to the fact that you're seeing less and less 20-year, 30-year guys and girls? If you're not promotable, you ain't going that long. They're gonna oust you.
Yes.
Yep. I even seen that in my time. Guys couldn't even do 20 years because if you couldn't make rank, they got rid of you. It didn't matter if it was 15 years. It's like, oh, you didn't make rank, you're out.
Right.
Joe says that's why the message is so important.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Joe and everybody else. I'm not saying that we are at the point of voting from rooftops yet. I'm just saying that eventually that will be the option. And that is not a option I do not want to fire. I was in Desert Storm, never fired my gun at an enemy. And as far as I'm concerned, when I go to my grave, I hope I never have to point my gun at a person and pull the trigger. I carry concealed carry. I carry a gun. I hope I never, ever have to pull a gun on another human being. So
I know. You think back, TR, back to the Civil War, and that's where we come full circle here tonight to the flag, that those families fought each other, brothers fought each other, killed each other, and it was not a racial thing. It was about, or I mean, I should say, it was not a genocidal thing. It was a absolute civil war over the issues they were fighting over that did have race, but it was not one side trying to exterminate in a genocidal manner, which again is so different and unique to our own country. You cannot compare that to other wars, as again the premise for those wars were all different. We're very unique.
yeah, and I don't think a lot of people understand when it comes to the Confederate flag or American flag or whatever. We lost more American people during the Civil
Million.
War than we did in every other war period. I mean,
Absolutely millions.
we lost more people during the Civil
Americans.
War. Yeah, we lost more Americans on both sides than we did during World War One, World War Two, Vietnam. Period. If you don't think they deserve a memorial, you're insulting Americans. Period.
You're a communist or you're something else. You're just not human if you think that.
Yeah.
Yep. Joe says it's total 620,000, 360 Northerners, or he says Yanks, which is more correct,
Hey.
and 260,000 rebels.
Yeah.
For a total of 620,000 American souls dead.
Right.
And that's just the ones killed, not counting the ones injured,
right.
Maimed up and mutilated.
Right. And you know, and you had brother and brother, brother against brother, brother against father. You know what I mean?
It was truly split families.
Yeah, and that was. Ugh.
It was a horrible. It was a horrible time in our history. A horrible time.
Yep.
And that's where you have to understand your history. It's nothing we want to repeat.
Right.
Nobody wants to go to war in our country here.
No.
I agree. I see his little comment. Even though I can't see the internal chat when he does, I see it pop up, and I agree, Joe. Yeah, Pike shouldn't have been buried in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Big
And
Glock. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I do know who Albert Pike is.
Big Glock Daddy had a comment for you about carrying it in 1911.
Yeah, he's just a jealous motherfucker.
Right. Just saying.
Yeah, grab your plastic gun, Glock, Daddy, and trust it with your life. I'll take my all-steel gun that has been proven for over 100 years.
Welcome to Walmart.
Over 100 years, this motherfucker right here has been used and worked. So, you take your plastic gun. That's okay.
Wow, Michelle's got them
Stick with
pegged too.
my 1911.
Yep.
Guys, what do you think that now I see Colt's going chapter whatever. I don't know if it's chapter 3, chapter 9, where they're at with it 11, but it was, to start the bankruptcy filings.
Yeah, Colt's kind of like fucked herself for many years, and
It's unreal.
yeah, and that's unfortunate. But I kind of blame Colt for undoing their self because they've been in trouble for hell, really 20 years now. They just haven't, competed well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they just bid too low on the government contracts?
I'm not sure. I think they relied on the AR-15 contracts too much and didn't concentrate on their commercial because if you look at the 1911 market now, Ruger, Springfield,
Everybody's got one.
Sig, everybody's making a 1911 except Colt. They shot themselves in the foot. This is actually a Colt 45 1911, but it was probably made in like the early 1990s.
Stan Ulch says, not up here. Colt Canada is strong. They're running the military's defense research labs. So maybe they're taking their business north. They'll fire a chapter down here and go north. I don't know.
They just shot themselves in the foot. They should have continued making the Peacemaker. They should have continued making the 1911. They should have continued making the Anaconda, the Python. They didn't do it. That was their own fault. They had awesome freaking handguns and long guns with a Colt. I've owned a actual Colt AR-15. Actually, that's how I ended up with this. I did a trade. A Colt AR-15 for a Colt 1911. The guy gave me a couple $100.
Nice.
And, the gun.
Right.
But
well, they did put all their eggs in one basket, it appeared to me, and I appreciate your opinions. It's a sad story, but it is the epitome of America. Is natural selection, you want to call it that or not, but that's where you're going to either be consumed or not. And for lots of these companies in the defensive market, they all receive the subsidies and the sweetheart deals that makes that level playing field go away, and you have an advantage over another company. But it didn't work for Colt this time. It doesn't look good.
Working class wisdom says they put too much into their black gun craze. Into the black gun craze, excuse me.
Later, Joe. I seen that comment.
Yeah, he says he has to go. Godspeed, and he'll catch us later, I guess.
Good night, sir.
Sweet dreams. Yep.
Sorry you couldn't get the camera mic thing working. We'll work on that privately next time. My apologies for putting you on the spot, and it didn't work out. So. Yeah, but Colt, like I said, they shot themselves in the foot. They should have really locked on to the commercial market. I think they were too worried about the commercial market, which probably was the majority of their business, but when they let that commercial market, the Python, the 1911s, the the handguns, the Peacemaker. I mean, I have 2 single action 45 long Colts that were made in the 90s. These were guns that were made over 100 years ago. People are still buying them. Don't stop making them. There's a market for it. You screwed yourself when you quit making them. I mean, who don't want a Colt 45 Peacemaker? You
Oh,
know,
I'd like a real one. Yes, I would.
exactly.
Yeah, I think the Mr. Bullet Points was showing a little replica today of one of his not favorite guns, his Colt. But it is a wonderful piece of history, and they may be biting the dust, or they could be nationalized, taken over.
Joe said, "Good night, bird dog. Ode to smart women, a video maybe." And then he said later to me.
Well, I appreciate this tonight. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Hello, Dish.
Oh, did she?
Yep, Dish made it.
Yeah, I seen her and Michelle. I've been wanting to get Bird Dog in a political chat, or at least somewhat of a political chat, because she's alluded that she knows what's going on. So
I try to be awake, but you're just one person.
yeah, but you're awake more than most, and I appreciate it. And I was wanting to get you in here to hear your opinion, and I'm glad you jumped in, Bird Dog. Really.
Thanks. Thank you.
Misfit says, "Oh shit, we talking guns. Link me as soon as possible."
Well, unfortunately, I got to go to work tomorrow, so we're going to end this very soon.
Me too.
Yeah. Fading out myself.
Yeah. Damn dish. Well, it didn't work out like I wanted it to, but at the same time, it was a pretty good chat, and I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thanks, Johnny, Mike, Bird Dog, Matt, who's already gone. Joe, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but we'll get it figured out. Chats are kind of a challenge to understand and get working. So that was kind of what this was. I probably shouldn't have made it live. I probably should have done it private, but hey, mistakes are made.
Right on. It's all good. It worked out.
Yeah. So with that, everybody, I want you to have a great day. Have a great tomorrow. I hope you have a great week. And I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a chance to do an outro if they want to. And starting with Bird Dog, go ahead.
Thank you, TR, again for the quickie. It was a quickie tonight, right? Hey, love you guys. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Again, it's not really my usual forte, but I do love America, and I appreciate if you guys can all try to stay informed and share. I'm learning a lot with you all too, so thanks again.
According to my list, Johnny, you're next.
All right. Yeah. As far as I know, every name I saw knows who we all are. So just to remind you, TR and I are doing our show this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, the Conundrum this week. And we'll hopefully see you all there. I'm done.
All right, Mikey, it's up to you, buddy.
I'm with Johnny. People know who we are, and I'm also with Bird Dog. I learned a lot, and I love being on these chats, especially with you guys. It's really cool. And I have to up one Johnny on the chats. I have one on Friday night. On Friday nights, before and after Johnny sometimes. But then there's another one on Saturday night. It's called Jamie Time. Great group of ladies runs it. So if you're up at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night or a Wednesday night, go check them out. Thanks.
Wednesday.
How'd I do?
Good job.
You're good, man.
Good job.
Yeah, definitely. Just in case they don't know who you are, which I think from everybody I've seen commenting, I think everybody knows who Mike DeLucia is. But Mike, make sure and make a little comment.
Sure.
And Johnny, make a little comment so that everybody can find your page real easy. Because if there's one thing that we should all do is support each other's channel and chats. And I think that is one thing that this group, this circle, is really good about. You know, we're not trying to outdo each other. We're trying to support each other, and I think it comes through really well. And, you know, I mean, it's not a competition. It's
Right on.
we're all just doing our own thing, and hey, come check us out. Go check that out. Go check Mike out. Go check Johnny out. You know, I mean, and that is what I love about this community, that we're all here to help each other.
Very true.
Well,
Very
TR,
true.
you did a good yeoman's effort to try to get Joe in tonight. Again, it was a tough deal, but you know, we all tease Michelle about getting that chat and be late, whatever. But you know, I have to say, you and I both see it is a complicated thing to do, and
Right on.
so Michelle, you can laugh out there if you will.
Yeah, she can laugh. I waited and waited and waited for him to come in, and it just, that's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on him to come in, and finally I just said, hell, I got to pull a trigger on this. We got to go live. We can't wait no longer. But I will say, Michelle does this every fucking week, so there's no excuse for her.
Well, you know, I have to say again too, it's not just you. You've got the factor of Google in there, and they'll tell you, oh no, your chat's not going to start for another 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah,
so
I know.
you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, I'm ready to go, but they're not. So, yeah.
Right.
There's more to it than it looks. It's just not a handsome TR sitting there. No.
Yeah, I didn't want to come on by myself. That wouldn't work too good.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do appreciate everybody, Mike, Johnny, Bird Dog. I do appreciate you coming on here and being in my second chat. However successful or however a failure it was, I don't know. But I do appreciate y'all coming in here and helping me out.
You had 40-something people in there, 42 people or some shit like that in there. You did well yet again, so congratulations again.
Thanks, Mike. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this so we can all get a little shut-eye. I don't know what everybody's schedule is, but I know I got to go to work tomorrow, so we'll end this.
Night, y'all.
Michelle just waved at you.
Okay.
Bye, Michelle.
I seen something flying in front of the camera. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, she gave you the bird.
Oh, okay. I probably deserve it.
No doubt.
Yep.
All right. Later, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Good night.